I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw the hearse a-coming, rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by?
And welcome to Emulsion on Rumble. And today what we're going to talk about is Memorial Day photograph. Well, photographs, but in this particular case it's one theme, and this is episode 6. I have a series of photographs that I took in a graveyard, and first things first is that we have a historical graveyard. It's called Friendship Cemetery. It's here in Columbus, Mississippi, and I took them from the front, and I was notified that, hey, they can't take these pictures because of there's names on the front. So got in there and rethought it and took it from the back. So the ones I did take from the front say unknown soldier, and I'm here in the South, so we have, it's a Civil War, an area has a Civil War cemetery and gravestones, and they're Confederate soldiers. And we did have some Yankee soldiers, Northern soldiers, but I believe after the war, they ended up transporting them back up north. But right now we have Confederate soldiers buried there, and they look like military gravestones, you know, the thin ones that you'll see in the photographs. And on the back, there's nothing. So I got from the back, no name, no nothing, and took the picture of my wife with roses, you know, something to show mourning, to show support for whoever is buried there. And these photographs can be used for many different reasons. One is Memorial Day, and that's why I use the yellow rose, you know, tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, you know, for the soldier that's gone and coming back. But I may go back and take some more different colored roses, because these pictures can be done for can be used for multiple of reasons. So like insurance, caskets, anything to do with mourning or widow, or marriage, end of life marriage, savings, you know, retirement, just different themes. That's a hardcore theme for retirement they might use, but since Memorial Day is coming, I went ahead and did this, and I'm going to try to get this out before Memorial Day, so that to give you an idea, and you'll have time to go get some and maybe submit some. So yeah, and if you have a historical cemetery in your local area or in your surrounding local area, you'll be able to travel, not spend much gas, and go get some pictures and enjoy it's almost like a park, you know. You see a lot of you see the history there, and you take you can take in some of the sites, the craftsmanships on the tombstones, and how maybe they did it in the past, and how they buried, you know, people in the past, and a lot of the older, what I mean by that is a lot of the older gravestones are very artistically done, especially if you're in a war cemetery. You know, you may see them wherever you're at, not just in the Confederate states, or the southern states that were in the Confederacy, but you know, up north. Okay, so that's what I want to cover, is basically some angles you might want to get inside a historical cemetery. One way to shoot the photograph is from above, you know, looking down. You can put a rose on top of the gravestone, and coming in from a little bit above and shooting down. You can leave a little space off for the lettering that the advertisement want to use. The advertising agency, whoever buys it, may want to put some titles up there, or the brand, they may want to put that up there, and get your model to sign off so you can use it commercially. And they don't have to sign off, and they can use it editorially. Straight up from the back, you'll see one photograph, like straight up from the back, and then you'll see some, like I have one of the unknown soldier, and then a series at a certain angle, you'll see row upon row of, I should post it, but if you don't, you get my drift, row upon row of military gravestones, and my wife is walking in the distance. And then, or you can have your subject in the distance going this way or that way, or, do whatever you want. And you can do close-up of the rose petal on the marble of the stone. People know what that means. I've also taken pictures of my wife, but holding red roses in a black dress for a widow and stuff. And using that theme is kind of hard when you're working with someone you love and is still alive and y'all are all working together, but you're doing your part for the industry. Some of these photos could be used in a way that are positive. And I guess what am I trying to say? Get over that hump of the theme of the photo, and then you're using someone you care about, I guess, is that how your little part in the working industry. The photo is going to be used for advertising to get people in to buy something that was crafted by people who have to support their family. So, and that's how I looked at photojournalism too. Like if we went and did car wrecks and things like that. If you go to a wreck and each time you went 3 or 4 times in a row, or 3 or 4, 5 times in 2 years or something, it's the same type of car doing the same type of damage. It's recorded in your community, and they see that, and it raises an alarm, and you helped get that recording. Now with these, for me, it's putting that dollar in the pocket of somebody that has crafted a coffin, or has goes out and sells that insurance that those people do need, where if someone does passes in their family, they need that money to help pay for that home, because that's why you go get insurance, is that if you lose your loved one, how are you going to pay for that home by yourself when you have a 2-person income coming in? So insurance is good. So to get over to, if you do have that theme where, like, I don't want to be out there with someone I love taking those types of pictures, something with that type of theme. And also you show respect for soldiers. Some people, taking it from the back, you may not like the Confederacy, especially if you're up north, or if you're in the South and you don't like what they stood for. That back of that stone is a soldier stone, so it can be used to aid in the mourning of a soldier or something like that, for advertisement for a soldier's fund. And Memorial Day, for instance, it could be used to celebrate our freedom from, or if you're in a different country, same thing. It could be used to celebrate those soldiers that help fight to keep you your freedoms to choose how you want your government to be. So that helped me get through through that hurdle of accepting, well, this is a neat theme and a neat thing to be doing, but the theme seems to clash with being there with someone that's alive and loving, and you know what I'm saying. It's like a dark cloud or something if you start talking about death and something. So there you are in doing that type of subject matter. All right. Well, let's get through that, because I could I could talk about it for a while. And you can use a cell phone, you can use a DSLR, put it in auto. I know camera mechanics, and you don't necessarily need all that, because basically everything you can either put in auto or just use your cell phone and use it. You don't want too many whites blowing out, too many dark shadows. So just try to get even light, get in a spot with even light, and try not to have your subject have name brands on, and also don't have that name on that headstone in front, unless, so you get what I'm saying. You don't have the name on there. You can shoot it from the back, shoot it from the, the side angle or something like that, and watch your background names on the headstones and the backgrounds too. Also, I really liked that opening shot I did with the soldier monument far in the background, and opened it up with in video. I use cell phone video in this, and you see the back of the tombstone with no writing. And then you come around and you see where it does have writing on there. We want to avoid the writing unless, unknown soldier, you don't see their name or anything. And then I pan up to the tree with the vines on it. And then there's a tree to the right, and centered in that is that memorial. So I really like the way that turned out. So if you go to these cemeteries, you'll see a lot of that stuff, especially a lot of, you see the monuments, or the monuments they did in the past. We have a few monuments in there, not just on big tombstones, but ones they built for the soldiers, after the Civil War. And then also, you'll see the gravestones where they're there for, statues for people that are buried there. And so all that's there. It's really nice to see, and the respect they paid for soldiers in all wars, not just in the Civil War, but in all wars. And I'm a veteran myself, joined in '89, got out with honorable discharge, served in the Army, United States Army. That's actually, I was stationed on Fort Ord, 7th Infantry Light. I was stationed on Fort Ord, and that's where I got my first camera, my Minolta. When I first got my photojournalism job, doing advertising photography, car lots and things like that, visiting stores. I did copyright, 2 500-word essays on when a business would get their advertisement, and I'd write up to 500 words for each one. I got my first Minolta there at Fort Ord. I believe it was in Monterey, and then by the time I got my newspaper job, that was my first camera I was using. It was a Minolta DSLR film camera. We developed our own black and whites and everything. I keep saying a lot because it's not scripted. It's not. I probably need to, but then I'll just be reading it, But basically I just want to share ideas with you, and even a little story about where I got my camera and everything, and what camera I used. If you're out there wanting to get into the business, whatever you got, your cell phone and that, just take pictures. Call the newspaper, submit to the newspapers, go to events, take pictures, join these stock agencies, stock photo agencies, things like that. And I'm glad they were there, because when I got let go from the newspaper, that's all I did was take pictures every day, every day. And I enjoyed it. You don't really get in the journalism business for the money. You get into it for the passion, I guess. And so I still had an outlet to take pictures, even if it was a handful of peanuts. A peanut company may want a picture. So, but it also earns you money. I'll get a little bit of money coming in, not much. Sometimes $100, but it's literally changed. Each year, when I first started doing it in 2007, you made a little bit more money, but I didn't invest a whole lot in stock agencies because I was already taking pictures for the paper, But then it got down, I guess, a few years ago, it was 25 cents, for the pictures. So much pictures they got now. Now it's like 10 cents is the average. What you'll see for a photo is like 10 cents, but you can make more than that. I get $2 a picture, $3, But it adds up over the years, especially if you're a go-getter and you get in there and you just keep going. You keep taking your pictures and stocking them up. But this is about Memorial Day. Going out, and what some ideas for Memorial Day would be. Your historical cemeteries, and they have monuments, they have headstones, take them from the back, those military headstones. Take you some flowers, I got some yellow ones, but if you took some yellow flowers and did something similar to me, that'd be fine, because you're different than me. I may go back and set my camera on a tripod and and get myself modeling, or get my wife again with a different colored flowers. But you going out and doing the same thing, these examples would give somebody more of a choice. So don't let that deter you, that these may give you ideas as well. And your age, you may be different. We were in our 40s. I'm 52 now. My wife's about to hit 50. So go out there, get out of the house, check out your local history, and that'll be awesome. It'll be fun. And check, it's just, a lot of these places have pathways around that and everything for you to walk and stuff. It's not really closed off. They keep them open for tourism, because a lot of your towns like that history, like that tour, the Civil War, you know, and things like that. And antebellum homes here in the South. We'll have an antebellum tour, and we actually have high school kids that take on the roles of some of the people buried there, and they tell those people's stories. So there's nothing wrong with going and taking pictures there and doing that. So, and it's free, except for your gas to get there. Maybe it's close enough for you to walk, gas to get there, and if you take a model or a friend, and y'all both share the moment, and you get pictures of them. So, and you can load them up to stock agencies or to a newspaper. Maybe want it as a feature photo, you know, or you can submit it to a historical magazine. There's some, and it's not much work, because you're there taking the picture for fun. Now you have the picture. You just figure out what they want, people's names. You know, if you take people, you know their names. Editorial, they don't need anything to sign off on. Commercially, they do. But go out there and get these pictures before Memorial Day, something similar, and that way they can maybe land somewhere that helps let people know, you know, it's Memorial Day, and people can appreciate the soldiers that go out and protect our country. And thank you for watching.
There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, oh Undertaker, won't you please drive real slow for the lady you were hauling, Lord, I hate to see